Errol Spence Jr. versus Shawn Porter most likely will be on pay-per-view, and Oscar De La Hoya is still saying that pay-per-view is dying. A few days ago, Errol Spence Jr. posted in his story on Instagram that he will not be fighting in August. There has been a lot of speculation about what he means by that. Did that have something to do with the news that dropped that Mikey Garcia will be fighting Danny Garcia on pay-per-view? A lot of people were speculating that Errol Spence Jr. wanted to be on pay-per-view as well, and that's definitely understandable. Mike Coppinger is doing some more reporting, and I want to talk about it. But before I jump into it, I want to welcome back my gym boxing family. All my subscribers, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, I invite you to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you won't miss any more good videos like this. Also, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all the social media accounts at Gym Boxing. And also come join us in the Squared Circle every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with me and my brother. He knows his sport. We chop it up and talk about the current state of boxing. Mike Coppinger, okay, he retweeted out something that Oscar De La Hoya basically tweeted, and I want to read it. I want to read it and give his response and stuff like that. Oscar De La Hoya says, "I'm loving Mikey Garcia versus Danny Garcia. Showtime must be paying them huge guarantees because we obviously know pay-per-view is dying." He says, "I wonder what Spence is thinking." And I think this is what a lot of people is thinking. I definitely saw this story not too long ago. I think the first person to probably put that out on YouTube on their platform was Fred from Barbershop Conversations. And then I went ahead and looked it up, and it was definitely in Errol Spence's story. He said he's not fighting in August. And then in the live stream with CJ Goodfella, he actually we had let him know, and some of the other subscribers was telling him about it. And then he made some pretty good points on his video about the fact that Errol Spence Jr. Probably got pissed off about the fact that, you know, Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, both guys that were just defeated by Errol Spence and Shawn Porter, are getting a pay-per-view fight. And I think a lot of people knew right away that post that he put on Instagram about not fighting in August was in direct relation to the news drop about the Garcias fighting. Okay, so shout out to those brothers for their posts. I knew they jumped right on it immediately as soon as they found out. And I just think it's interesting how Oscar De La Hoya still keeps saying pay-per-view is dead, but the more he say that, the more pay-per-views is being announced. It's kind of weird. It's almost like he wants it to die. You know, he's definitely with his promotional company, they fight on DAZN, so he seems like he wants pay-per-view to die on out so that the boxing world can move into the streaming app direction. But it seems like with PBC on Fox, it seems like they're pumping out pay-per-view after pay-per-view. This might be probably the most pay-per-views in a single year in boxing in a long time. So it doesn't seem like it's dying, but it seems like it's growing rapidly, man. And me personally, I'm not a big fan of paying for pay-per-view, especially if it's not a big fight. But you know, a lot of people was also wondering, you know, what's the deal with Shawn Porter and Errol Spence? We've heard Mike Coppinger reported a while ago that it seems like they're going to be on free TV on Fox PBC. But then, you know, it was a lot of stuff going on where it was a long period of time where it wasn't much being said about this fight, and everybody was still wondering, was this thing still going on? You know what I'm saying? And for good reason, because, you know, the fact that Errol Spence says he's not fighting in August after it's been reported that could have been the possible date at the Barclays, now it leads people to think, like, what's going on with negotiations? Are they able to come to an agreement? And let me show you what he tweeted out. One of his followers says, "What's happening with Spence Porter, Mike?" He says, "Terms not agreed is to do the Garcias getting pay-per-view and Spence and Porter not." So a lot of people was wondering what's going on with Errol Spence and Shawn Porter pay-per-view or that fight, as it relates to the Garcias. You know, whether it be you know, when Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia is supposed to share the ring on pay-per-view. So a lot of people was wondering, well, wait a minute, where does that leave Errol Spence and Shawn Porter? Because those two are the two champions. That's a unification bout. That's the fight that's gonna make somebody a unified welterweight champion in a much closer situation to a big boss type fight with Terrence Crawford. Mike Coppinger, he basically replied. He says this fight is gonna happen, but could move to the fall, and there's a chance Spence versus Porter is moved to pay-per-view. And I think the homie CJ Goodfellow, I think he was one of the first people I was hearing that was saying that was the reason why. Okay, and I gotta give a shout out to that brother, man. He always be on top of his game. Whether you like him, hate him, love him, whatever, he definitely be working, man. So shout out to CJ Goodfellow. Now, when it comes down to Mikey Garcia versus Danny Garcia, a lot of people, I made a video in the past, and a lot of people was trying to, they was trying to state the fact that the reason that fight is going to be on pay-per-view is because of their nationalities. Okay, Mikey Garcia going to have the Mexican crowd behind him. He's going to have their support. Danny Garcia is going to have the Puerto Rican crowd and also his hometown, Philadelphia. So that's what they were basically telling me. And just to make it extremely clear, I definitely don't have a problem with watching that fight. Okay, a lot of people seem like they was missing the point. I mean, a lot of people agree with what I was saying, but I feel like there was a lot of people, mainly of the Hispanic background. They're the ones that seem to be not seeming to understand what I was talking about. I wasn't saying there was anything wrong with Mikey Garcia versus Danny Garcia, but the fact that both of these guys had just recently lost was my problem. Okay, Mikey Garcia just lost to Errol Spence, who's fighting Shawn Porter, who just recently beat Danny Garcia. So to have the two losers on pay-per-view and the two winning title holders fighting on free TV, that does an injustice, or it's not fair to, the winners. It's not fair to the guys that came out victorious and actually won the belt. You know what I'm saying, or retained their belt. So that's basically the point I think everybody is trying to make here. And I think Errol Spence Jr. Basically on Instagram saying that he's not fighting in August no more. I'm pretty sure there was a quick phone call made like, wait a minute, what's going on with this? Why are they on pay-per-view and we not? And I think they're going to try and compensate that ASAP and possibly push the date back a little bit. And you know what? For me, I'm not mad if they push the date back, because like I told you, I would much rather see the Errol Spence and Shawn Porter fight, and I'm definitely going to try to see if I can go to that fight. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that they pushing that back just gives me more time to get myself prepared and get myself ready, because I would most likely be looking to try and go. You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of a fight. Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter, two of my favorite welterweights in the division. Some people argue that Shawn Porter is most likely and most definitely getting knocked out and getting stopped probably early. They say he's nowhere near Errol Spence's level. And I think what that should be for Shawn Porter is, I think that should be some extra motivation for him. Okay, a lot of people already feel like he's been ducking Errol Spence for so many years in a row, so many fights in a row. Me personally, y'all know me, I'm a Shawn Porter and an Errol Spence fan. I like both of these fighters, so I think this would be the perfect fight for me to go witness live. And I think it's just motivation for Shawn Porter, man. Everybody says he can't sell, which I see what they're talking about. He definitely is not a big cash cow when it comes to boxing. He doesn't have a large fan base, but I think it should be added motivation for the fact that everybody feels like he's gonna get put up out of there real quick. And I think Shawn Porter got to come in here with a good game plan, man. He got to mix up some of that old school Shawn Porter with some of that new school Shawn Porter, and I think he got to give Errol Spence his toughest fight. I think Errol Spence is just too strong, too skilled. He's gonna be too big for Shawn Porter. I definitely think he'll beat Shawn Porter, but I wouldn't mind seeing a very, very good fight. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some close rounds and just some good action, man. At the end of the day, both of those guys are champions. Both of them are good professionals, man. I just want to see the fight happen. Y'all drop y'all thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know what you feel about this whole pay-per-view situation. Do you think Shawn Porter and Errol Spence deserves to be on pay-per-view? Because a lot of people say they both don't have a big enough fan base to even be on pay-per-view, but that's just, people's thoughts, man. But we'll see. This is pretty much all I got for this video. Make sure y'all tune in to the Square Circle this Sunday coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I might go live tonight for the Deontay Wilder fight as well. I might try to do some sort of commentary tonight, man. So y'all stick around the channel. As soon as y'all see my channel go live, or you see that I scheduled a live stream, man, y'all come get ready to jump in here with your boy, and we're going to chop it up, man. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms at Jim Boxing. Hit the like button on the way out. Give this video a good thumbs up for your boy. This your boy, Get a Mike. This is Gym Boxing. Much love, peace, and blessings to all the brothers and sisters. And I'm out of here. Peace.